Greetings, everybody. Happy Sunday morning. Holy crap. What a Bears unbelievable win last night, defeating Tom Grassi's Green Bay Packers. But of course, that was game number 3 in the books. Joel Verone behind the microphone. Of course, had the Thursday game with the 2-point conversion seen and heard and felt around the world. 38-37 Seahawks legit. Then the Eagles. Their offense are somehow back in kind of an ugly game, 29-18. Game that had Josh Flippin Johnson having to come into the emergency quarterback. Not Mariota, but Josh Johnson. I saw somebody started Jaden Daniels in one of the leagues. Ouch. Yeah. Hopefully they're in the consolation bracket. So hey. Then of course, yeah, in the game you had a little bit of a kerfuffle in there. Then you had the Bears, tough Bears, with the onside kick that somehow Romeo Dobbs was unable to come up with. And Caleb Williams with ice in his veins throwing that beautiful touchdown pass for the Bears to win in overtime, 22-16. After the Packers fumble, Jordan Love getting knocked out. Not a good year for the Packers offense. Tucker Kraft goes down. Yeah. Then Jordan Love. Then, of course, Micah Parsons on the defense. He even had Wyatt, I remember, who was carted off. Very ugly injury from the defense. So Wyatt, then Parsons. Packers are not in a good place by any stretch of the imagination. Wonder if Ben Johnson took his shirt off again or not. But 3 games in the book, 2 of them exciting, 1 not so much. What does the rest of the slate have in store for us today? And of course, the rest of the slate. That picture credit to Yahoo Sports. Yahoo! So here we go, of course, Buffalo and Cleveland. I don't think you need a lot of talk, a lot of yak about this game. You're picking Buffalo, what they did to the poor Patriots in that second half last week. I think Myles Garrett's going to get closer and closer to the sack record, but yeah, Cleveland has a lot of questions to answer going forward. Will Stefanski be brought back? Is definitely one of them, as, yeah, just the factory of sadness marches on. Then you got the Chargers going into Jerry World. Whew, yeah, Cowboys eliminated. They're gone. Chargers coming together both on offense and defense. You got Omari and Hampton back. Justin Herbert's playing one-handed. I think you have to pick the Chargers here. Not sure what's going on with the Cowboys, what's happening with Pickens. Yeah, is Lamb fully 100% back? Yeah, you're picking the Chargers. You're not blinking. You're not thinking. Then you got KC going into Tennessee Titans. This might be a sexy week to pick the Tennessee Titans, especially if you're in a survivor pool. I don't know if you'd bet them straight up. I don't know. Because even under Gardner Minshew, I think KC can hobble together enough of an offense and a defense. Poor Chris Jones, right? You saw last week Chris Jones found out in post game that Kansas City was eliminated. Ouch. You have Travis Kelce deflecting. Is he going to retire? Is he not going to retire? So yeah, you're 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 still picking Kansas City. I don't think you love it. It's not what you would call a super confident pick, but I just don't think you. I don't have the guts to pick up Tennessee. If they win, more power to you. If you did, and you are. Then you've got the Cincinnati Bengals going in to face the Miami Dolphins, and it ain't Tua Tagovailoa behind center. It's Ernst. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how you say the dude's name, but he's just going to be a footnote. And I think the Bengals get their Bunko. I have no idea what Bunko is, but Bengals get their Bunko back and their Funko and then their everything. Oh, and Joe Burrow is happy again. You don't have sad Eeyore behind the podium. And the Dolphins rode back to 500, runs into a speed bump known as Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, and the rest of that Cincinnati offense. Not sure if that's going to include T. Higgins or not. We'll see. But yeah, then you've got the New Orleans Saints hosting the New York Jets, and yeah, you got to pick the Saints. Tyler freaking Shuck, unbelievable story. The Saints just sliding into that spoiler role in an awesome, amazing way. It doesn't matter who goes down. They're almost like the dark horse 49ers for spoilers. Doesn't matter who goes down. Doesn't matter who they don't have. They just somehow keep winning. They stun the Bucks to help the Panthers, and they turn around and help the Bucks by beating the Panthers the very next week. They're legit. You're picking them. Then you have another game that doesn't mean anything like the previous, like the Jets and the Saints. Yeah, that's the Minnesota Vikings and the Giants. And the Giants. Yeah, is it going to be Dart? Is it going to be Jameis? Doesn't gonna matter just because JJ and everybody is just congealing. Oh, maybe not JJ and Justin Jefferson. Sorry, Justin Jefferson managers last week. Oucha. Oofa. Might see some more to say this week. We shall see. But I think you're picking the Vikings in a game that, once again, doesn't matter as the Giants successfully continue to tank because they need the help. They need the help. Oh boy. Then you got the Bucks sailing in the pirate ship on the high seas. The Carolina is -3 favorites. Nobody on the injury report. Hope the Bucks got the message from Coach Todd Bowles in that very fiery, very expletive-filled press conference last week. Oh boy. I think the Bucks do it. Bucks get it done. Bucks right the ship. I know I watched Grossi and making the case that the Carolina Panthers are an every other week team. I just think the Bucks have the momentum. They can get done. It's not going to be an easy game. Definitely coin toss game. Could see the Panthers winning it. I know Flying picked the Panthers, but I just think the Bucks need to man up. They know they need to win both of these games against the Panthers. Need to win away. Need to win at home. And then somehow win against the Dolphins, which I think is more doable next week. But I'm picking the Bucks to get closer to winning the division, and that's pretty much their Super Bowl recently. Then we got the Jacksonville Jaguars of Duval going into Mile High Stadium, and you got to pick Mile High. Mile High, you got to pick Denver, you got to pick Sean Payton, you got to pick Bo Nix just because the Broncos defend Mile High with absolute fervor. They are undefeated this year, and I don't see that happening with the Jaguars getting a win Mile High. Sorry, not happening. Think it can be an ugly game. Maybe not as sexy as we think. I think Trevor Lawrence is definitely due for a bit of a letdown, especially after that explosion last weekend, which it started in fantasy. I didn't. But yeah, you're picking Jacksonville, and I don't think we're going to quite see as super sexy an offense from the Jaguars, especially with this matchup. Then we got the Battle of the Birds out in Arizona. Good news for Kirk Cousins. Drake London sounds like he is locked in and good to go for week number 16. You're picking the Falcons. I know good Falcons, bad Falcons, letdown spot. Maybe after defeating the Bucks, after that Bucks collapse. Is it an Admiral Akbar trap game? No, it's just because the Cardinals are that bad. They're one of those teams that have checked out and just given up on the season. They're on to Cancun. So yeah, I think the Falcons, even though it means absolutely nothing, get a win here. And something in a game that does mean something. You've got the Steelers going into Ford Field in Detroit, and I'm picking the Lions just because the Lions have more weapons. They have more semblance of an offense. You got Sonic, you got Knuckles, the Sun God is back. You got J-Mo rocking and rolling in there. You got Jared Goff. It's indoor golf. Steelers, you don't want to look past them. But yeah, better the two offenses by far, the Lions, and they know how desperate they need a win. They need a win, and I think they are going to do whatever it takes to get the job done. Or else they ain't going to be in the playoff contention or playoff conversation anymore. So they need to just win. Then we got Raiders Houston. Don't think we need a lot of yak about this one. Raiders suck when your team only does 75 total yards against the Eagles. Who boy, that chat I shared on the shuffle about just how bad a team they are, not last in the league, what their average is every year on offense. Good God, they're bad. You're picking Houston. Then you got New England going into Baltimore we've been waiting all day for Sunday night. And I just like New England. I like New England. They still have the crowd that's right out there in front of them. They just got to reach out and grab it. They were denied it last week from the Buffalo Bills. I don't think even Baltimore is going to stop Vrabel and May and Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson and Stephon Diggs if he decides to actually freaking show the hell up this week. But I'm picking New England. Because I know two of the sexy starts this week are Diggs and McConkey. And I'm going, really? You haven't been paying attention to recent fantasy trends, have you? And how often in recent weeks McConkey and Diggs have both disappointed, especially Diggs, especially that revenge game again against Buffalo last week. And what did he do? He did all. So yeah, I'm still picking New England. Don't have a lot of faith in Diggs. But yeah, I do have faith in the Patriots and Vrabel and Drake May to get by get by Baltimore just because Lamar Jackson still dealing with that injury. They looked amazing against Cincinnati, but New England ain't Cincinnati, and it's not a short week and it's not a weird night. So yeah, I think New England gets the crown for the division this week. And then final game, San Francisco against Indianapolis. Yeah, you're taking San Francisco. All the craziness, all the injuries, all the Brandon Ayuk drama. You're still picking the Niners over Grandpa Rivers, and that's the setup. We're ready. We're rolling. Here we go. It is 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock on the East Coast. East Coast. What's the East Coast? I don't know what the East Coast is, but it's also the East Coast. It's close to the East Coast. Maybe that's what the East Coast is. Close to the East Coast. Hey, but yeah, I tell you, you gotta lie. Gotta love streaming. Okay, yay, gotta love live streaming. But let me tell you, getting closer and closer. Week 16. I know not in a lot of these games you can put down as sexy, right? Because you look at these games, right? Buffalo and Cleveland, Chargers and Cowboys, KC and Tennessee, Cincy and Miami, just because of how bad Airways is going to be. I think that's how you say his name. New Orleans and the Jets, Minnesota and Giants. That could be interesting, depending on which Giants show up and which Minnesota show up. Tampa Bay, Carolina. That one's going to be lit. That's going to be good. Good, important. Something means something. Then Jacksonville, Denver. I think that's going to be better than they. I think the Battle of Birds could be interesting, but still kind of eh. Steelers and Lions. I think that's going to be good. Raiders and Texans, eh. Patriots and Baltimore, definitely lit. And I think even just because of Philip Rivers, San Francisco and 49, Indianapolis and 49ers. Think somewhere between meh and lit. But still, hey, it's better to have football than no football because very soon, we're heading to no football and we're just hockey, just basketball, and yeah, counting down to baseball, counting down to the Dodgers win another World Series, right? I know some of them like, okay, yeah, he's a cynic. He's a cynic. Yeah, I am. And then how about the college football playoffs? All I got to say about that is everybody who criticized those two certain teams that were in there, why are they in there? Yeah, look at the scores. College football playoff committee, you done bleeped up. You bleeped up. Don't understand why you put those two teams in there. Yeah, that's just bad. That's just why I pay attention to it. That Miami Hurricanes Texas A&M game for a game that didn't have a lot of scoring. That was actually a decent game. That was a fun game to watch and listen to. But yeah, some of those other games, not so much. So yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I definitely am a critic of the college football playoffs, because the NFL, as flawed as it is, you don't have to debate, does this team deserve to be in here? Does this team deserve to be in the playoffs? They have the record. They win. They go in the division. Even if it's the NFC South, they're in. That's why. You don't have to have a committee decide. You don't have to have a selection day to decide who's in, who's out. They win, they're in. They don't win, they ain't in. So yeah, I guess that was also my final thought. But more updates coming today, even though I am not, of course, in it, but other people are. So yeah, we'll take a look. Since now we figured out how to, we remembered how to do the other screen. Hey, so we'll take a look at the 10-team league. Yeah, see if then the 16-team league, and yeah. So hope you have a good Sunday. Go Bucks! Come on, Bucks! We know you can do it. We know you can do it. We do. And that's it for me, and I'm shutting up now for this update. Yay! You like when you don't get the you don't have permission to post this link. It's just a game. Behind the scenes technology stuff. Hey, fun, fun things. Yay! So let me get rid of that, and boom, that's gone. And I'll talk at you next update. And I'm Joel Verlin.